There were other signings aside from Cody Bellinger. He was just the big fish that got
Yeah.
caught off the market this last week. Kike Hernandez has returned to the Dodgers on a 1-year deal. I think it's kind of funny that they brought in Hernandez and then they traded Manuel Margot
Yeah.
as like a corresponding move. I don't understand it. They traded him to the Twins. He'll be a free agent after the 2024 season. And maybe he was just like a throw-in with the Glasnow deal, right? Because he came over with
Maybe.
Glasnow.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are kind of like, we don't necessarily want him, but I guess we'll
Like,
take him if you're going to send
flip
Glasnow.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I feel bad for him. And I shouldn't. I don't know that I should because he's playing baseball regardless, right? But he looked awfully
True.
happy in Dodger blue the other day when I saw him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Walking
he
like
did.
the dude just had the biggest grin walking around the spring training facility. I was like, man, that guy is happy to be here, and I love it. And now he's got to go out to Florida and go play for the Twins, which I hope he has a great year. I like Margot.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with that.
Brandon Crawford is another guy who signed. He signed with the Cardinals. The details of the contract at this point of recording are not known. He still has to do the physical, but the dude's 37 years old. And he's expected to back up Mason Wynn at shortstop until Tommy Edman recovers from surgery. Like, why is Brandon Crawford at 37 years old? Yes, he had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
But why is he signing a deal with a team to be a backup at 37 years old? I mean, I guess it's a big league deal, right? So it's not a minor league deal, so it's a big league deal. But like, I don't understand at his age why he wants to go in and be a backup somewhere.
Listen, you're asking the wrong question.
Okay, what is the question I should be asking?
The question is, why didn't San Francisco re-sign him? I know he had a bad deal. I know he had a bad year, but what were the terms of his last year? He's been with them his entire career, right?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to double check it right now.
Yeah, I was trying to double check too, but I'll filibuster for a minute. The dude's 37. He's a mainstay in San Francisco. He's beloved by the fans, right? He's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
And they can't bring him back for 1 year. If he's going to go out and get 1 year somewhere else to potentially end up being the third string shortstop, because that's what it's looking like. As soon as
this
Tommy
is the thing. Think about this, though. I mean, I know he can play some first base, right? Especially at his age. Yeah. But at third string shortstop, how many teams carry a third string shortstop?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Like, Edman comes back, he's probably going to get cut.
Exactly.
He's going to get DFA'd. Like, why would you go put yourself in that situation? I can go back up Goldie at first. Maybe.
Don't need it. We don't need it.
You might be able to platoon on his day off, platoon at DH.
DH, yeah.
But really, though, like, he's not a utility guy. He doesn't have the range to play second base. Maybe he could play. I bet he could play third base. Maybe that's what he's going to do. Maybe after Edman comes back, he is going to be a utility infielder, and they're just going to have to shift guys over to second base if they need. I don't know. But if you can't play second base, you can't play shortstop.
So I know it's a business, right?
Yeah.
And I got it, but it just seems like from the fans' perspective, it just feels like a betrayal from the Giants to not keep Crawford in. If you're going to send him to St. Louis to be a backup guy, you tell me you can't keep him in San Francisco and be a backup guy for 1 year and platoon him at DH here and there? What is going on? If I'm a fan, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Like, if he's going to play this role in St. Louis, why couldn't he have done it in San Francisco?
And why can't he then retire and ride off into the sunset? We don't need to retire his number or anything, but he could have been a San Francisco Giant forever.
Maybe they didn't want to have to DFA him. They'd rather let him walk in free agency.
Well, okay, I can see that argument. Okay, because
they might not have wanted to have to make the tough decision with him. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
they'd rather tear off the Band-Aid now. But I don't know. It's an interesting situation.
That's nice. I like that.
I will be following this much closer than I anticipated that I would have been.
Oh yeah,
originally.
yeah.
Just see what happens end of March,
Same.
beginning of April.
Yeah.
Last one we have here. Tim Anderson signed with the Marlins, 1 year, $5 million. First off, Brig, I'm furious about this. Absolutely
Yeah.
furious. The Mariners needed a second baseman.
Yeah.
And yes, traded for Jorge Polanco, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like could have gotten Tim Anderson for $5 million 1 year. There's like no risk in this contract.
Yep.
Zero.
None.
That is, relatively speaking, I know $5 million for me is so expensive, but for these teams, $5 million is not a big deal. Like this year and next, so we've got Polanco on the hook for $10.5 million this year, and then a team option for 2025 at $12 million.
Right.
And he's been regressing year over year. And I know Tim Anderson had a
Right.
terrible year last year, right? I understand that. Was
But
not
so
good.
did
Got
every
worse
White
after.
Sox.
Yes.
Everybody in the
Every White
clubhouse
Sox had a
had a
career worst
meltdown.
year last year.
Yeah, I don't want. That's an anomaly right now.
Yeah. So this is what I think is going to happen with Tim Anderson, though, Brig. At $5 million, 1 year deal, he is not going to finish the season with the Marlins. He's going to get traded and absolutely flipped for a haul at the deadline. He's going to be playing for a contender.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And he's gonna walk into the season in Miami with a chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna earn himself that spot. You just watch.
Yeah.
You're
He's
exactly
going to have
right.
a killer spring.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's bonkers, though. Like, I was just furious when I saw how cheap the Marlins got him for, because the Mariners should have. All right, moving on.
A lot of people should have.
A lot of people should have. Yeah. The fact that they were the
Totally.
only team that offered him was unreal.